Okay guys, let's have a look at why and how I sold my entire comic book and toy collection. Hi everybody, it's Peter here, your Ginger Geordie Geek. Welcome back to the channel. So, those of you that watched the channel before will know that I've got a pretty extensive toy and comic book collection, spanning all kinds of things from vintage figures, 1/6 scale figures, comic books, key first appearances, and all that jazz. What you might not know though is that this is actually collection number 2. Collection number 1 had been formed from the age of 14 and was huge, much bigger than my current collection in terms of volume and comic books. And I sold everything I had back in 2007. So I've been a collector most of my life, and I started really collecting comic books from the age of 13. And over the years, I amassed a considerable collection. I would estimate probably in the region of 60 long boxes full of comics. Now, nothing spectacular, nothing kind of major in terms of keys, pretty much what you would class these days as run fillers. Although I did have a complete collection of New Mutants featuring the first appearance of Cable and Deadpool, who got a little bit famous after that. I didn't have CGC comic books, I wasn't into all those kind of things back then, but I did have a huge toy collection, pretty much all mint on card. I collected the Marvel Legends line when it was first born, back in the good old days. And I also had a huge collection of Optimus Prime figures. I had pretty much every Optimus Prime that released. I had 4 or 5 boxes of trade paperbacks, and I had a huge collection of something called Bone Design busts, mini busts. These were a phenomenal set of little busts of your favourite Marvel characters and a few DC characters here and there. I had pretty much all of them, starting from the original Ant-Man, I think. It was either Ant-Man or Cyclops for the first one, I can't remember. But I had tons of them, and I loved them. I've put some images up as I've been prattling on to you about the different stages of my collection. You'll see I started off collecting plates and things like that, and then progressed over the years. So at the time of selling, I probably had around about 17 years worth of collectibles. So, why the hell did I sell it all? Well, truth is, I grew up. In 2005, my first child arrived on the scene.
Oh my God!
My little Jessica. Now, we were pretty well prepared for Jessica. We'd scrimped and saved, or had decent jobs, so I had a little bit of money in the bank to pay for all of the usual stuff you have to pay for when you have a little one. Nappies, prams, all that kind of jazz. So we were relatively secure. Then, in 2007, child number 2 arrived. Little Thomas. And whilst I would say we're still fairly financially secure, there's no denying we didn't have the reserves we had previously. We'd blasted through a fair bit of our savings and we were short of cash. Also, the collector's nightmare would run out of room. I had a nice little geek cave which I needed to sacrifice for one of the kids' bedrooms. I'd also probably add that around about that time period I'd started to get a little bit disengaged with comic collecting in general. We're kind of on the brink of the new 52 and all that jazz, and comics really just weren't floating my boat anymore. So around 2007 I sold the lot. Everything I had, every comic, every toy, all of my bone statues and busts, I sold everything in one great big lump sum to a big UK firm. Now, story for another time, they took me teeth out. They're the robbing bastards. Now, I'm not going to go into that, but at the time, I got a nice little check, which helped a great deal. I was very pleased to sell all in one lump sum because I'm a lazy bastard and I couldn't be chewed with trying to sell it individually on eBay. So, whilst I'm moaning that I didn't get a good price really in hindsight for the entire collection, they did do us a favour in shifting everything in one go and giving us a sizable check. So, do I regret it? Do I miss any of that? Nah, not really. That money really helped to fund the early years of my kids' development. It gave us family memories that I'm never going to be able to replace, and it helped make sure that my children had the right start in life. Do I miss some of it? I don't think so, although I do like my bone busts. I would like them back at some point in the future. I would add, as my kids grew up and I got a little bit older and had a bit more disposable cash, I did wander back into the world of collecting, and that's what's given us the collection you see today. I've been back into collecting for a while now, but I've focused. I don't have vast quantities of single issues anymore. I predominantly have keys, nice toys, 1/6 scale figures, and I've gone back and picked up some of the old action figures I used to have as a kid, your He-Mans and Visionaries and things like that. Do I think at some point I'll sell all of this as well? I don't know. But I have to say, the idea of having spare cash so I can spoil grandkids rotten really does appeal to us. Okay guys, so what's the take-home message from this from me? First of all, collect how you want to collect, fund the hobby however the hell you want to fund the hobby. That's you, you do you. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. What I would say though, family comes first. It's lovely having all of these collectibles, these toys, these comics and all the rest of it. But if I need to shift it, if I need to sell it to give my family and my kids a better life, you're damn right that's what I'm going to do. At the end of the day, this stuff is just a hobby and family must always come first, in my mind. Now, you collect how you want to collect, you sell what you want to sell, you buy what you want to buy. That's totally up to you. But for me, this is what worked. I'd also add that let's never forget, this is just stuff, innit? It's just paper and placky. You can replace this anytime you want. Okay guys, I've lectured enough. I'm interested in what you've done over the years in regards to your collection. Is it still the same collection as it was 15, 20 years ago? Have you sold items? Have you regretted selling items? Or is there some items that you've sold that you think, damn it, I need to get those back? Let us know in the comments. I'm interested to know how you have collected. Okay, that's your whack. Thank you very much. If you like this kind of stuff, hit that like button and the bell notification so you get more updates of when I'm going to prattle on like an old fart. Catch you next time.